Peace, Daddy.
Peace, Rashida. Hey, we're back and better than ever because it's always the right time to share coffee together.
Shout out to Norma Jean. Norma Jean. Shout out.
It sounds like she made that cup.
She made that cup. That's right.
That is very nice. Is that you on the cup?
That is me. As a
Okay,
matter of
okay.
fact, it is me. So we both have our coffee and we're drinking. Like you said, we're back and better than ever. And it's a wonderful time to be able to share a thought process with you, Daddy. And, before we get started, I want to talk about who I am having the pleasure of having this conversation with today. So, to present to others and introduce to some other people, this is Jonathan Ray. A fun fact about this man right here, he was the youngest CEO, the youngest head of the welfare department. Okay. And I do believe, I don't want to misspeak, he was the first Black man that was head of the welfare department in Allen County. Am I right?
In the state of
In
Indiana.
the state of Indiana. Well, look at that. So we in the presence of greatness right here. We in the presence of a man who made history, and I have the pleasure of calling him my father. Um, so yes, Jonathan Ray.
Wow, that's saying a lot. I appreciate that, Rashida. I have to say that this is my daughter, but she's also a mother. She's also a professional. She knows how to get it in. And being her mother, doing her motherly duties, the other day, she allowed us to watch my grandson play football by FaceTime. So she's 101 things, but I tell you what, you can call her is somebody that's absolutely loyal, professional, and somebody that will get the job done. She also has this new way of making money. She has 8 different streams of income that you can buy into too. And she's got me in it, and I'm starting to learn and buy in and find those streams as well. So hey, hit her up.
Well, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you, Daddy. I appreciate that. So today we are going to be discussing a new level of thinking. And to start us out, I just wanted to break down that phrase. So I'm going to break down new level in thinking so we can deep dive into exactly what that means. And we start with new. New simply is not existing before. So if you have the same level, it's not going to be a change, right?
Right.
Level means a horizontal plane or line with respect to the distance above or below a given point. So when we level up, that means that line is not here anymore. It's starting to have a trajectory up, right? And the last word, thinking, the process of using one's mind to consider or reason about something. And a lot of times we don't think. A lot of times we use emotions. So we have to rise above emotions and think, process regardless of the situation, because when we use logic, things tend to end up in a better way versus when we are using our feelings.
Absolutely, because when you use feelings, it clouds sometimes your judgment because you're reacting versus seeing and hearing. You're reacting to your emotions. But when you think about next level thinking or new thinking, it's all built around thoughts, thinking, your mindset, your attitude. There was a quote. There's it's kind of lengthy, but I think it's worth reading. Christo Charles Swindoll, he created or wrote this poem on attitude, and I'm going to read it for everyone. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than the facts. It's more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstance, than failures, than success, than what other people might say or do. It's more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is we all have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act certain ways. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on that one string we have, and that is our attitude. The more things we can do to play on that, let me back up. I am convinced that life is 10% of what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in the change, we are our attitude.
Wow, that's good. And that was heavy. But what I got from that is I think back to, it always comes back to the basketball. Basketball started so many things and opened up so many doors for me. And it goes back to how a lot of coaches they tell you that basketball is 10% physical and 90% mental. And what he said in his quote is life is 10% of what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it. And that coincides because the happen is the action, the physical, your skill set, right? And then how I react to it is the mental aspect of it. So when I think about, wow, sports, especially team sports, sports in general, can really set you up to be successful in your life if you really get those lessons and values that is set out to really teach you.
I agree wholeheartedly. It's really, when you think about next level thinking or new thinking, it's really allowing yourself to breathe, allowing yourself to actually experience life. Be thankful. That's really really important. Uh, don't allow other people's labels determine where you are. I mean, at the end of the day, people are going to think certain things and act certain ways, but you control how you receive it and how you'll take your attitude to the next level. um, check your own internal dialogue. A lot of times, we're saying negative things to ourselves, and that self positive self talk makes a big difference. Then take control. I mean, how you take control is just getting started and moving forward, even if it's just a little minor change, just doing that. And engage in positive activities, whether it's yoga, playing basketball, playing golf, reading. Do things that give you energy. And remember to be easy on yourself. Sometimes things aren't going to go exactly the way you thought they would, but it's a learning experience. Sometimes you can look back on something, you say, gosh, man, I shouldn't have done that. But it's a learning process and you're better because of it. And I think it's so hard to embrace new things because it's scary, but embrace change and make the adjustments so you can move forward and open your mind up to allow yourself to find peace. And finally, you know what? If you want to change, you want a new way of thinking, you got to let go of the past.
That's right. That's right, because the past brings a lot of things that got us to the current situation we're in. So when we can let go of the past, we can what develop a new level of thinking. And to go along with what you said, there's nothing stronger than a made up mind. So when you can let go of the past and really determine, oh, I'm moving past whatever happened to me in the past, that's when you start to see yourself level up. But I have a quote that's from the restrictive laws of Islam is our success. It says, the 10th system in the body is the brain, the mind, where we think, where we process. The human body is a mathematical creation. When your brain is not functioning well, you will start to have problems with your other systems as well. So it's a whole system. It's not just how you think, it's how you eat, it's what you listen to, it's how you dress, it's how you talk to yourself, like you said, it's the people you're around, it's a whole thing. And when you start to, you know, go down or have a negative impact of what you're doing in regards to those things just listed, your other organs might start, your other systems might start to fail. So when we are not eating the right food, whether it be food we consume with our mouth or food we consume through our ears, what we listen to, you may start to see your heart's not pumping the way it needs to pump. You're not walking as well as you should be. You're not thinking as well as you should be. And we have to remember that everything plays on each other. So if one thing is out of alignment, well, it's because we got to find the root of where that's coming from and nip that in the bud.
A healthy mind makes a healthy body. I mean, how many times? I mean, you probably haven't. You're still so young, but there are times in my life when I've been down and out, and when I lost my mom and dad, but particularly my mother. Man, it took a bit for me to get over that. But my mind wasn't in the right place, and neither was my body. I mean, I am diabetic. My numbers were just atrocious during that time period. So a healthy mind does make a healthy body. And the same token, a healthy body helps make a healthy mind. So exercising regularly will make a difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Another quote I have is creating the next level results requires the next level of thinking. So that in itself, in order to go to a new level of thinking, there are going to be some new results that have to be made. And it comes down to, are we willing to make the sacrifices to get to that next level of thinking, to get to that next level, to get to that new job promotion, to get to the business flourishing? Are we ready to make that commitment and make those sacrifices that come along with them? Because a lot of us, we want to be millionaires, but we don't want to put the work in that's required to become a millionaire. Talk on that, Dad.
Oh yeah, I mean, really, we want it, but we don't want to do the work. I mean, I told you a little bit back that there was a quote that I stole from Walter Jordan, and it's this: if you want what other people don't have, then you got to be willing to do what other people won't do. And so, there's no shortcut to success. I mean, unless you win the lottery. But short of that, just pure luck, it's going to require you put some effort out and change the way you think and go to that next level of thinking so you can get that next level of reward. I mean,
Mm,
that's how that works. It works because you're putting in the work and you have a plan and then you're seeing it through. And the thing about hard work is you're going to have some pitfalls, but you have to persevere and remember that the prize is around the corner.
that's right. That's really good. That consistency and persistence is what takes the average person to the successful person. And we got to remember that at the end of the day. We absolutely do. But man, that was a good conversation today, Dad. That was good. Um, the people, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, check out our YouTube, and do the same there. But we want to continue to add value to your life, to give you something that maybe you were in search for, and continue to inspire and just show that father daughter relationships absolutely do exist, and we're living proof of that.
Absolutely. Rashida, I've enjoyed it once again, and peace and power to the people.
Peace.